Hello, everyone. It's Tammy Warner with Aortic Hope. Thank you for joining our Aortic Hope YouTube live page. If you are here today and you participate by writing something in the chat or even joining us live so that I can talk to you, your name will be put in and we will pick a name at the end for a $25 gift certificate to Lawrence Hope medical bracelets. Oops, mine's turned around, but I will tell you more about this. Let's see if you can see it. I'll tell you more about it at the end. So hopefully we have some participants today. It's also a great day to be with us because today is Aortic Disease Awareness Day. September 19th is Aortic Disease Awareness Day. So I hope that everybody that's with us today is at least liking and sharing this page, especially today, but anytime. That's our whole purpose. Our whole mission is to connect people who are living with this disease, survivors, caregivers, wait and see, whatever category you're in. If you've lost someone to the disease, we're all here for each other. So we really want you to help us with the awareness. I'm wearing my Aortic Hope shirt today. We have lots of swag. If you would like to celebrate today by ordering some swag, you can go to our Hope Shop link on our website, and there's tons of stuff there. We change it around for the different seasons. We have like a classic logo, but then we change the logo around for winter, summer, spring, whatever's happening, St. Patrick's Day. It's a lot of fun to have one for the different holidays. Two of our board members to celebrate Aortic Disease Awareness Day have traveled to United Kingdom in hopes of attending a conference that was supposed to take place today through Think Aorta United Kingdom. But unfortunately, because of the King's, not the King's, but the Queen's death, in honor of her, they decided to postpone it until February. Two of our board members did still go and meet up with some members of Think Aorta in the United Kingdom. And they did an impromptu video, I guess it was yesterday, an impromptu video, just letting you know what they were doing, what they were talking about. They also had the chance to visit a castle. So that was a great day for them. But go ahead and check that out on the Aortic Hope YouTube page. It's also on our Facebook page and on our website too. But so they are over there right now, and we'll hear more about that when they get back. Okay, so we're going back to the beginning of the week. We have a full week this past week. Medical Monday and aortic disease. So on that day, we decided to talk all about valve disease. From the Society of Thoracic Surgeons, the human heart has 4 valves, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. The aortic valve, the main outflow valve for the left heart, is the valve between the heart and the body. The aortic valve opens when the left ventricle squeezes to pump out the blood and closes in between heartbeats to keep blood from going backwards into the heart. Aortic valve disease occurs when the aortic valve doesn't work properly. It either fails to close tightly, which is, you'll see in your reports, it'll say regurgitation or insufficiency, or it gets too tight, and that's considered aortic stenosis. I think we see more of the regurgitation than we do the stenosis. To read detailed information about the aortic valve disease, we have a link of for the diagnosis and the symptoms on our page. And for those of you who have a new valve, if you are watching us live right now, let us know, do you have a mechanical valve or bovine, or there's also pig valve, so mechanical or tissue. I had no, I didn't have a mechanical valve. I had a new valve put in on my second open heart surgery when they repaired an pseudoaneurysm. I had a pseudoaneurysm repaired about 2 years after my emergency aortic dissection surgery. And at that time, they put in a tissue valve. I do not know if I have a bovine or a pig valve. I kind of don't want to know. Also, if you're here and you're in the live chat, let me know, did they give you a choice? I recently participated in a study and they were very interested in this, whether or not you were given a choice and how much was explained to you about your choice. I was not given a choice. I'm actually very happy that I did not receive the mechanical valve because I keep hearing about the clicking and I don't think I could do that. I'm somebody who, when I sleep, everything has to be quiet. It has to be dark. I don't listen to music or anything like that. But the different ones fit different people. And there's also a video that you can watch if you are in the category of either having had a valve replaced or you are a candidate for that valve replacement. Go ahead and watch this video. So that was Monday. Oh, hello. Who am I going to say hello to? Hi, Velva. I haven't seen you in a while. I follow you on Facebook. I like your post. Hello, Karen. Karen Heichel. Great you're here. And Ty. Thank you. Oh, gosh, we have three. That's Neil. Okay, Neil. Thank you so much. So do any of you have a valve? And can you tell me which one you have if you do? We're going to go on to Topic Tuesday, and I'll see if anybody responds to that, if any of you have valves. So Topic Tuesday, we wanted to share with you, we've been keeping a list of pre and post-surgical suggestions that people like you who have had surgery, or you're a caregiver for somebody, or you're waiting to have surgery in the future, this is information for you, from us to you. When it comes to planning for surgery, a lot of thought can go into preparing for that surgery as well as planning for the post-op. A planned surgery, as we know, is much, much better than an emergent surgery. So we have made a list of suggestions. I've looked over the list, it's pretty extensive. I think whenever I see somebody online who says, or I get a phone call from somebody who says, I'm going to have surgery, what can you tell me? And the three things that always come to mind for me that made a huge difference for me was the breathing. From the moment you found out you're going to have the surgery and it's a planned surgery, start doing some deep breathing exercises, getting that lung as open and full and as clear as possible. And then after the surgery, do that deep breathing. You'll get out of the hospital sooner. You won't have as many complications with your lungs. And then when you get home, your recovery will happen a little bit faster if you can do that deep breathing. It's amazing the difference it makes, and we really take it for granted. I know they give you those breathing tubes or the little exercise things, and that works, and you need to do that. But I used to do it every time there was a commercial on TV. I would fill up and come back down, and it just makes a huge difference. The second thing that I tell everyone is to really have an organized way of keeping track of your medication. When you leave the hospital, you have so much medication that you weren't on before. And if you have more than one caretaker like I did, I had my sister, my mom, my husband, I had two daughters. My son-in-law is a paramedic, so he wanted to be in on the action. Everybody was helping to take care of the medication, but nobody knew what the other person was doing. So my sister finally said one day, okay, stop. I'm making a chart. If you give her any medication, you have to write it on the chart. That was especially important for the pain medication, because I couldn't keep track. I would take the pain medication, I would fall asleep. I don't know how long it's been since I had the pain medication. So that was really, really important to do. And then the third thing that I tell people is it's really hard to get back in the bed. So many people sleep on the recliner a lot, or the recliner that's electric and helps you get up and all that stuff. So I did have one of those, but when I wanted to get back in the bed and I felt like I was ready to get back in the bed and get a better night's sleep, the problem was as soon as you lay down and your chest opens up, it feels like somebody is just pulling on everything that has just happened to you. So what made a huge difference for me was I had my family roll up long ways, 2 thin towels, and put them under both my shoulders when I was laying down, and that rolled my shoulders in, and that made me so much more comfortable when I was laying in the bed. That made a huge difference for me. So please check out our list, and if you have anything to add to the list, we would really appreciate that, because your experience is really important to us. That's why we're here. Okay, I can't do W's today for some reason. Wisdom Wednesday for last week. And during Aortic Disease Awareness Month, we want to share with you the many disease support groups that exist both on and off of Facebook. And if you know of any that we don't have listed, please let us know. We share for the community, for the community, and just like we say, connecting hearts, one heartbeat at a time. There are groups on Facebook and on the web dedicated just to specifically to Marfan syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and Loeys-Dietz syndrome. But we offer opportunities for you to participate in live interviews with physicians, surgeons, therapists, lawyers, whatever the need is in the community. We try to find the person that can address that need. Survivor videos happen on Saturdays, and they do inspire and they do educate us. I love to hear other people's stories because it helps me realize that everybody's story is different, but we're all on the same path. The Hope Mail care packages, I'm actually the one doing that now. So if you go in to our website and you fill in the date and your address and your name of your aortiversary, that month, I will send out to you a care package. It usually has 2 things on it, 2 little swag things. I think right now we're sending out their little notebooks that have a pen in them, and you can keep it with you all the time if you want to write information in there that you would want people to know in an emergency, or you can also keep information in there, questions that you want to ask your doctor, or use it when you go to the doctor's office for your questions. And then the other thing is a magnifying glass. I don't know about you, but so many people tell me that their eyesight definitely changed after being on that heart-lung machine. We have free contests, just like we are today, with awesome prizes. We do bingos, ladies' nights, we have prizes. And we have virtual support groups. So you sign up for that one time. There's a caregiver group, there's a survivors group, there's a grief group. You sign up for one time, and when that is going to happen, you will get an email as a reminder. You don't have to sign up every time. And we have sister pages that provide closed support to survive. We are sister pages, and we provide support to survivors and caregivers, just like I was saying. We feel strongly that there are many wonderful Facebook pages where you can receive support. There are also other 501c3 charities, just like us, that work tirelessly to provide education, research, awareness, support, hope, and all this happens through the generosity of donations. 100% of donations that come into Aortic Hope goes right back into Aortic Hope. Nobody gets a salary, anything like that. Every time you buy swag, a help belt, anything like that, any of the small profit that we make off of that goes right back in to ordering rack cards, things like that. So there's room for everyone to help. Wherever you go for support, we truly appreciate that you are here, that you have liked us and you follow us and you share our information. That is so important. I can't tell you how important that is, to like and share us. By doing so on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, you help others find us and receive the same support as you. And you can click there for the list And if you're looking for something more specific, so if you do have Marfan syndrome and you enjoy us, but you would also like something even more specific, we can provide the links there also. So that's great. So our 3 watchers, have you participated in any of the support groups? I would love to know. I know Velda, I've met you in the support group, so I know Velda does. So I haven't been in any of the support groups in a while. I need to do that. So, okay, Therapeutic Thursday. Today, we want to provide suggestions on how to manage your mental health after surgery or a procedure. Post-surgery, how to manage your mood, expectation, and goals. Most people don't stop to think about how they can help themselves feel good emotionally during their recovery. Isn't a positive outlook normal when things are going how they're supposed to go? For some people, yes. However, depression after a cardiac surgery is not uncommon. We talk about this so much, and I think one of the best things that we do is provide a safe place to talk about the mental health journey that goes along with this. I always say I spent the first year recovering physically, and my second year I spent recovering mentally. And that's one of the biggest reasons I became involved in Aortic Hope, was to be able to let other people know that whatever they were experiencing was okay, as long as you work through it and you seek help. Getting stuck is not good. And it doesn't matter how far out you are. I'm 4 years out from my emergency surgery, and it doesn't matter. I just had an experience the other day. If anybody that knows me and has followed me knows that my aortic surgery, my aortic dissection occurred during my 12th week of chemo for breast cancer. So breast cancer is behind me, and I'm healthy, I'm good with that, but I do have to go in for a shot every 6 months. It's like kind of like a chemo kind of thing. So I've been going for like 2 years now, 2.5 years. And when I go into the oncology center, I'm always prepared. This is what I do when I do my breathing. I go, of course I do it slower, but nobody knows that I'm doing this with my hand. Nobody knows that I'm in the middle of trying to calm myself down. It's just between me, myself, and I. My husband usually knows what I'm doing when he sees my hands my finger going up and down my fingers. But so I had this experience of going in for the shot, and usually I'm taken into what would look like a typical examination room. But this past week, I was taken into, I guess they were overcrowded, and I was taken into the infusion center. And I wasn't prepared. Nobody told me when they said, okay, follow me. They didn't turn around and say, now I know you usually go into a private room. We don't have any rooms. They just walked me into the infusion center, and I sat back in the chair where I would get my chemo. The same smells, the same people, the same warm blanket was there, the same cup of water, the same monitor was there. I lost it. I wanted to run so bad. I wanted to just turn and run. And I kept trying to analyze myself. Okay, what's happening? What's happening, Tammy? Your breast cancer is not back. Why are you acting like this? And what I realized is I felt like I was dropped straight down in the middle of a nightmare, that I knew how it was going to end. I knew I was going to have an aortic dissection when this chemo happened. And now they're putting more chemicals in my body. So it was so hard. Luckily, my husband reads me really well. He knows what to do. He just said a few things, and he said the right things. Because I've trained him. That's real important for your caregivers. Tell your caregivers what you need. I do not need somebody to tell me you're going to be fine. It doesn't feel like I'm going to be fine. So it's really, I really advocate for that. Tell your caregivers what you need. And caregivers say, is rubbing your back upsetting you? Like, I can't stand when somebody starts patting my back, telling me to calm down. I'm not going to calm down. So anyway, somehow I got through that. And I want to read to you one of the things that I took out of my purse. I keep this with me. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is the gist of it. So what happens is I kept ruminating about the breast cancer and what it led to, that I couldn't get past that. So this is what I like to read. When trees get hit by a storm, the treetops are thrashed around and run the highest risk of being damaged. The trunk of a tree is more stable and solid. It has many roots reaching deep into the earth. The treetops are like your own head, your thinking mind. When a storm comes up in you, I was in the midst of the storm, get out of the treetop and go down to the trunk for safety. Your roots start down at your abdomen, slightly below the navel, at the energy point known as the tan tine in Chinese medicine. Put all your attention on the part of your belly and breathe deeply. Don't think about anything and you'll be safe while the storm of emotions is blowing. Practice this, and then it says, practice this every day for just 5 minutes, and after 3 weeks, you'll be able to handle it. I will say that I have practiced this. I pulled that out of my purse. I read the main paragraph to myself. And even though I was doing this kind of breathing, my finger breathing, I wasn't taking the deep breaths. I was just breathing through it. I stopped. My husband knows if I can see him and I can see his face, I can calm myself down. And I just stare at him. He knows he doesn't need to say anything. He doesn't need to do anything. If I can just see his face and he breathes with me. And deep breath. And I kept reminding myself that it was going to end. The storm was going to be over. I wasn't going to die sitting in that chair. And in a few minutes, the infusion was going to be over and I was going to be able to leave. And it did. So if anybody wants me to email that to them, I'd be happy to do it. But that's one of the things that helps me, and I hope it will help you too. Anybody, the three of you watching or anybody else that's joined us, is there a certain saying that you have in your mind that you say to yourself when you get into those situations, those high anxiety situations? I'd love for you to share that the other people here could hear it. So, okay, something good. Friday fundraiser. So we have something brand new. I hope you're all looking at this. So everybody knows the Ani and Alex, I think that's the right one, the bracelets. Well, we now have our own. And 25% of the proceeds for this goes back to us. So like this is such a win-win purchase. So today is the first, well, on for our first Friday fundraiser, but it's still happening. We're excited to announce a collaboration with Jewel Promise. Jewel Promise supports various causes and raises money by creating jewelry, keychains, and even wine glass charms. Like I said, 25% of the purchase is donated back to Aortic Hope, and the link is there. So if you have family members, I know I have a sister and a mom who've been so great to me. And I'm looking at getting the bracelet for them. But treat yourself. I think they're like $12. I think the most expensive thing there is like $15. So treat yourself and start a conversation. We always say, wear your shirt, wear your swag. This is one more thing that you can do to start a conversation. I know I talked to a couple people who are buying the bracelets for family members, but also some of the swag for their doctors. I know I have a favorite nurse at my doctor's office, my cardiologist's office, so she might be getting one. But take a look. They're really, really great. Okay, this one I really liked. I have seen it before. You may have seen it yourself. It's the spoon theory. So this was our Saturday post. And this is a great chart. It is the Aortic Disease Awareness Month, and we are wrapping up the mental health well-being portion of our post with the spoon theory. And there's an article there from the person who created the spoon theory. It's a fairly long article. I read it this morning again, but it's great. If anyone has difficulty explaining to others what it's like to have an illness or condition that isn't visible, This is a fantastic way to do it. And this is an important article to share with your caregivers, your coworkers, anyone. But basically, if you look at this chart, what the woman was having lunch with somebody one day, and she was trying to explain to her I think it was a coworker or friend, about most people get up during the day and they have an enormous amount of energy. You've rested well. You can push yourself through. So you had a crazy day at work and you're going to go to the gym, and then somebody calls and says, hey, go take a walk with me. But you still need to stay up late because you got to do the bills or whatever. For us, it seems like we only get a certain amount of energy during that day. So this person likened it to, she gathered up all the spoons that was in reach at the restaurant, and she had 12 spoons. So she explained to this woman, this friend, that, okay, you have these 12 spoons, but you have all these things to do. So each spoon, it represents energy that you have to expend that day. So whether you're going to work, whatever it is. So if you look at the chart, so one spoon takes for getting out of bed, getting dressed, taking your medicine, doing all the things that you need to do. So you got to allot 2 spoons for the other things that you have to do today. Maybe taking a shower. Maybe today's the day you're not going out of the house, so you're going to save a spoon so that you can take a walk later today. It's all in your decision making. I kind of had an experience today. I've been trying to walk again and do better with my walking. So it's Monday, so we always do our best on Mondays with our routines. So I did get up this morning and I met a friend and we walked for 2 miles. And I came home and had an appointment, went to my appointment, had to meet my daughter. And then I knew that I had to be ready for this. We usually start around 2:30 getting it ready. I kind of skipped lunch because I was so tired. I just had some cheese and crackers. But I started thinking about this, like I was exchanging, like what am I willing to give up so that I have the energy to do something later today. So I actually laid down on my bed and took a rest around 1:30 today. I put my Calm app on. I like the Calm app. They have like 10 and 15 minute, kind of like meditation. It has a lot of things. It has music, it has meditation, it has stories. So I picked something that was just like 10 minutes long so that when I was on my bed trying to decompress, that I could think about, that I wasn't going to be thinking about what I had to do, that I truly was resting my mind and body. And if you haven't used any of those apps, I would highly recommend them. I go between the Calm app and there's another one that I like. I can't remember the name of it now, but the Calm app is the one I use the most. Insight Timer. They're both free. They both have upgrades. The Calm app, there's so much on there, you don't have to upgrade it. I did one time when it was on sale for $40 for the year, and I did enjoy it because it gave me more choices, but you don't have to do that. So anybody here ever use any of those apps to get some downtime and try to save a spoon? Okay, next one. Super Supporter Sunday and Aortic Disease Month. Cardiovascular Surgery of Southern Nevada, how to care for a loved one after heart surgery. Open heart surgery affects more than just the patient, and the recovery process is a collaborative effort between the patient, caregivers, and loved ones. And I would also add your doctor. You need to stay in touch with your doctor. Caregivers in particular, whether professional or loved one acting as a caregiver, play a vital role in the recovery process. The tips below will allow you to be the best caregiver possible for your loved ones during their heart surgery recovery. Don't forget to take care of yourself. It's easy to overlook this, but it's important to remember to take care of yourself, as you need your strength and rest to be able to adequately care for someone else. Share your feelings or concerns. It is a two-way street. It's perfectly normal for you to struggle with feelings of anger or depression. Don't bottle them up. It's understandable that you might want to remain strong for your loved one, but consider discussing your feelings with a different family member or friend if you are having difficulty coping. And I will also add here that professional help is always wonderful too. Help ensure accurate communication. Designate a single friend or family member to be in charge of maintaining communications with the heart surgeon and the rest of the medical team. This way, there is less risk of a mix-up and everyone can stay on the same page. I totally agree with this. Although my mom, my sister, and my husband were probably the three main ones that were there for my daily. They were there throughout the whole day of my recovery, my couple weeks of recovery. I saw all three of them every day, sometimes at the same time. They all played an equal role, but I could not have them all be the one to contact the doctor. We had to pick one spokesman, and we learned that real quick, that we needed just one person that would be in contact with my doctor. It made a huge difference. Minimize the risk of illness. If you're sick, it's best for you to try to limit your visits to the hospital or even at home. Heart patients are more susceptible to infection and illness while they're recovering. So keep this in mind. I think that's common sense, and I think we've all learned so much about the spread of infection in our COVID experiences. Encourage exercise. If the heart surgeon says it's okay, encourage your loved one to exercise during their recovery. Exercising together can be a great way to support your loved one while getting some physical activity yourself. Find support. Sometimes it helps to talk to others who have been in your situation, and might be a good idea to consider joining a support group through Aortic Hope, meant for those who have experienced or are experiencing what you are going through. So this is all great advice. So that's our review for the week, and I wanted to tell you about some things that are coming up if you get our emails. So, well, I already talked about the Jewel Promise, and if you get our emails, there is a link in that email to be able to go right there and do your orders. Tuesday, September 20th, we are going at 6:30. We have an Ask a Doc. Go to the Ask a Doc post on the top of the Facebook page on that day and time, and post any questions you have about aortic disease in the comments. This is not a live event, but what happens is, I can never, Parkash, Dr. Parkash, what he has agreed, and this is so wonderful of him, he has agreed to answer questions in live time. So it's not a live video where he's answering the questions, but he's on Facebook. You type your question in and he answers right away. If he doesn't answer right away, it's because he's answering somebody else's. But you can ask anything that you would like. If you're not available or you're not to do it at that time at 6:30 on the 20th, or you would like to say remain anonymous when you put your question in, you can email us the question and we will ask the question for you. But that's always well attended and always very much appreciated. You can always go back to, if you are on our Facebook page, go back in and just type at the top in the search button, Ask a Doc, and you can read through all the questions people have asked in his response. And then this is very appropriate because we just talked about caregivers. On September 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Aortic Hope Caregivers Only, so it's only for caregivers, virtual support group meeting. So no survivors should register for this. We're pretty adamant about that. We really feel that caregivers should have their own space. I know my mom and my caregivers are on that page and they never tell me what's being discussed, but okay, so can we pick a name for the
I have a picker wheel. I'm about to swipe.
Okay, I'm ready. He's going to spin the wheel and come up with a name. So it will be for $25 gift certificate to Lawrence Hope. This is the one that I just bought for myself. My information on the back.
They're just not.
Oh, Velda. Yay, Velda. Okay, so we'll get the information to you, Velda. The gift certificate. I will send it to you. So yay, Velda. Thank you guys. Yes, that's the one, the other one. For some reason, I always end up with the calm, but the Insight Timer I do like too. I like their stories. And it's free. You're right. It's a great one. So, okay. Good, Velda. She uses the apps to relax for dogs, did she say? Velda, you have the funniest sense of humor. I love it. But that's what gets us through life, isn't it? So, okay, it was really fun having people here today. Next time, consider joining us live so we can actually talk to you. It's not painful. If I can do this, you can do this. So, but thank you, everyone. Happy Aortic Disease Awareness Month. Bye.